This is the first in the series of what I'm going to call quick daily reminders. So, unofficial title, but you get what I'm saying. These videos are going to consist of very, very quick, straight to the point, sharp videos of 2, maybe 4, just random number of just quick reminders for you to digest and ingrain into your subconscious mind. Number 1 on today's quick reminder is to deep breathe. So when you are walking through your day on the street, in the gym, or usually in social situations when there's another person present, I'm doing it right now. Can you guess what it is? You'll find that you constrict your abs, you tense them, you keep them very, very tense, and you walk through the world with shallow breathing, okay? When I record these videos, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's nerves, maybe it's an anticipation of hoping that I say the right thing. I subconsciously tense my abs. And I think it's probably stemmed from when I was younger and I was quite socially anxious and I used to walk through the world and just worry about what people were going to say. So naturally I tense up. It's just a defense mechanism. It's a mild state of fight or flight. And I do it on the videos sometimes as well. And I have to consciously remind myself, relax your belly, bloat your belly out and deep breathe. Now, shallow breathing, so when you're tensing your abs like that, naturally you might find you're doing it when you're watching this video. You might just randomly, you don't even realize you're doing it, you're just tensing them for no reason. This can cause things like anxiety, lower testosterone due to cortisol increase when you are in a state of fight or flight. Cortisol increases, naturally then testosterone decreases, which leaves you with a lack of testosterone. Things like premature ejaculation. If you're in a mild state of fight or flight, if your breathing is shallow, that's basically how you're breathing when you're tensing your abs, right? So it's triggering a response in your body. It's triggering the sympathetic nervous system. Now, what this does is basically means you're in a state of survival. Your body is not prioritizing lasting long in the bedroom. If you're in a state of survival, it's going to get you to ejaculate as quickly as possible to then get you out of the situation, right? So if you find that you're shallow breathing a lot, it's going to cause a lot of negative effects. The only real benefit of tensing your abs and keeping your breathing constrict and shallow is if you are actually in a state of extreme stress. If you're working out, it's very, very good to just sharp breathing, sharp, quick breaths. Working out is a very good example of this. If you are running away from a threat, or you're in a race or something, or some sort of high intensity environment, yes, it's probably quite good to constrict your abs, tense your body up maybe, and allow the sympathetic nervous system to kick in. Cold showers, cold baths, ice baths, that kind of thing. Quick breathing. Try it right now. Quick breathe. Really, really fast like that. Yeah? So it's long inhales, sharp, quick exhales. This is to trigger the sympathetic nervous system. This is to trigger your fight or flight. So if you are in a situation where you need an increase of cortisol, you need a quick rush of blood through your body, that's when you breathe very quickly. That's when you tense your abs. If you are just walking down the street, if you're in the gym and you're socializing, if you're with a girl, you want to be nice and relaxed. So practice number 1 on this daily reminder is to deep breathe. Bloat your belly out. Just let it completely relax out. Don't be insecure. Don't be a little pussy like, oh, but I'm bloated because I'm bulking, so my belly looks weird. Just fucking let your belly bloat out and deep breathe from your belly first. So you breathe from your belly expands first, and then up to your chest. So you can't see my belly right now, but you can kind of imagine what I'm doing, right? And then if you want to trigger the parasympathetic nervous system, so it's the opposite of fight or flight, it's a state of relaxation, which again cures premature ejaculation, it cures anxiety, and it increases testosterone. What you want to do is simply deep breathe from your belly and make sure your exhales are longer than the inhales. So quick inhales, long exhales. That if you do that enough, you'll find that your body just relaxes. Stress is impossible to function. It is impossible to keep stress sustained if you are exhaling for a long period of time. So just keep that in mind. Number 1 is deep breathing. Make sure you are consciously catching yourself when you are shallow breathing in times of just normal day-to-day activities. Number 2 of daily reminders, just random daily reminders. These are not specific in any sense. They're not linked together. They're just random daily things that I want to just inject into your subconscious mind. Number 2 is practice speaking. Practice opening your mouth more. Practice just stating your opinion and also standing up for yourself. Now, I don't necessarily mean in a fighting sense. I mean just in terms of speaking your mind. This will help in a lot of areas in terms of talking to girls, making friends. A lot of times, you guys are missing opportunities to make friends and meet girls and whatever and form relationships in life because you're simply not saying anything. You're allowing the opportunity to slip by. Now, I remember a specific time I was in the sauna in one of my gyms that I go to. And I was sat on the top bench, this top stool of the sauna, whatever it is, right, to get the most heat, because heat rises, so I sat at the top. And all these guys were kind of in there before me having a conversation. I walked in, went straight to the top, sat down, started meditating. These guys were having a conversation about something about the 9-to-5 system, which is quite relevant to me and how I like to see the world, right? So it was instantly my ears pricked up and I was like, what are these guys talking about? They were talking about how, the 9-to-5 is just, it's capped. The income is capped in a 9-to-5 and there's no way you can really become rich or very, very wealthy from a 9-to-5 unless you save your money for years and years. And even then, it's not, ideal. So they were talking about this, and one guy made some sort of joke. I forgot what he said, but he made a joke, and everyone kind of laughed, and I kind of chuckled to myself. I wasn't part of the conversation at this point, but I kind of just I chuckled to myself because it was funny as I was meditating. And then after that, I said something that was kind of related to that joke that he said. I kind of, expanded upon his point. Now, the reason why I did this was because I was, number one, genuinely interested in the conversation, which always helps. You don't have to be, but it helps if you have some sort of common interest in the conversation. So try and be aware of avenues you can take the conversation down that link to something you're interested in. But also the fact that I wasn't afraid to actually speak out and say something was exactly why I made a new friend in the gym. Well, multiple, because I then ingrained myself in the conversation. Whereas if I just sat there scared with my mouth glued shut, which is what I used to do in these kind of situations, I used to be very scared of how people would perceive me, be very scared of saying the wrong thing or stuttering. Therefore, I just wouldn't say anything. I'd stay in my comfort zone. So, practice speaking out loud. Practice just saying words. My mate, when I met my mate in the gym this one time, one of my good friends, right? I haven't seen him in a very long time, but he might know who he is if he watches this video. He goes through the world and just speaks to absolutely everybody. He doesn't really have anything in particular that he says every time. There's no script that he's following. He just chats shit. And that's the mindset I want you to take from this video, is just chat shit. Don't be so concerned, because number one, no one else cares. No one gives a shit. And I'll touch on this in a second. But also, it makes you liberated. It makes you free. You feel like a confident masculine individual when you just speak your mind. Just chat shit. I was on a night out with a friend once. Now, let me just finish my previous point about the guy in the gym. He walks around, he just says hello to people's dogs. He starts making random conversations about the breed of dog. He'll speak to people in the gym and ask them what you're training today. They've never met before, and he'll just walk up to them and be like, hi. He'll literally just do it like this. He'll be like, hi. He'll just put his hand up and wave like that. And he'll just start speaking to this random person he's never met. He doesn't even know their name. And he just chats shit. What are you training today? Oh, back. You know what? My back's killing me. He'll just start randomly talking. It's almost as if he is disassociated with what the other person thinks. He's kind of just talking about what he wants to talk about. Now, obviously, yes, be a good listener. Don't just talk about yourself and be selfish in that sense. Ask them questions, be genuinely interested. You know this, right? How to win friends and influence people. You understand that principle of being a good listener is much more efficient in terms of your conversation skills than you talking about yourself. But it's also a good mindset to tap into of just chat shit. You know what? My back's aching today. Let me talk about it. They might not care. They might do. Who gives a fuck? If it's on your brain, just say the words. Don't think too much about it. Chat shit. A good example I can give you of this is I was walking down the street once on a night out with my friend. Now, we were briefly having a conversation before we got onto the kind of like strip of clubs. We were briefly having a conversation about how he was quite socially anxious and he's always struggled with it. And I spoke about my past and how I struggled with the same thing. And now we are here today and, I'm very confident in myself and he still kind of struggles with this a little bit. And I said to him, right, bro, let me just prove to you that no one gives a shit. And your social anxiety is literally just, it's manifested in your own brain. It's not a real thing. Social anxiety is not real. You have convinced yourself that these people are going to respond in a certain way. Therefore, you are triggering the emotion of anxiety in your body. It's not real. And I don't want to sound like Andrew Tate here, like depression isn't real, but it's just not. Emotions are a direct response to your thoughts. If you can control your thoughts, which you can, then your emotional response can also be controlled. And I said this to him in a very in a different way, but pretty much a similar kind of way. And I said to him, right, bro, watch this. I'm going to prove to you, because I used to be one of the most socially anxious people you'll ever meet. So bad. I'd stutter every time I spoke. I was so concerned and anxious with what I was going to say that I would just end up not speaking. Or if I did speak, I would stutter. I used to blush when people used to speak to me, especially girls, because I was insecure and shy, didn't want attention on me. I've now brought myself into the kind of individual today that you see in front of you that can speak in front of a camera quite fluently, quite articulately, barely stuttering for 10 minutes straight. Didn't lose my train of thought. Didn't really, mess up my speech. Confident. How am I able to go from the version of myself back then to the version today? It's a mindset shift, nothing else. Obviously, yeah, go to the gym, build your confidence, blah, 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 that helps. But a lot of it is just simply understanding human psychology, understanding that no one else actually gives a fuck about you in that way. No one cares. If you do stutter, if you say the wrong thing, no one's going to go to bed at night thinking, haha, Luke stuttered in the conversation. They just don't care. Everyone is so self-absorbed. And that is a defense mechanism. It's a survival mechanism to be self-absorbed. So manipulate that. Understand that principle that every human being is programmed to be self-absorbed. They do not give a shit about you. Their main goal in life is self-preservation. Therefore, 90% of the time, they're focused on themselves. If you understand this, it gives you a lot of confidence. And I said to my mate, we're walking down the strip of this club. And before we got into the club, I was like, bro, watch this. Just let me prove to you how easy this is. Watch this. This is freestyling, right? Because I always preach to you boys, don't think about what you're going to say before you say it. I've coached guys before in my coaching down in the description. And a lot of guys say to me, yeah, but what do I say to the girl? I want to go and ask the girl, like, what do I say? Or what do I say to meet new friends? You know, what words do I actually speak? Because I'm telling you here to just chat shit, to just speak words more. What do I actually say? The problem is you're thinking about what to say. Therefore, you're not going to have any thoughts of what to say because you're thinking about it. If you were present in the moment and you just enjoyed life as it was in that moment, you would think of, honestly, endless amounts of things you could talk about if you were just present. The problem is you're not present. Right now, as I speak these words to you on this video, I am present. There is no thoughts in my brain. This is why I never run out of things to say. I could chat shit to you for hours. So I said, watch this. I walked over to these two random girls, and they had kind of sunglasses like this on their head, but they were kind of like glow-in-the-dark sunglasses that you have in the club, right? They were walking. They didn't notice me at this point. My friend was kind of just standing there observing the situation. I walked over, and as they noticed me walking towards them, I kind of pointed at them like this. Kind of like a joker. I was like, come here. They came over, and I was like, can I try your sunglasses on? And she's like, yeah, go on then, as long as you don't rob them. I was like, of course, I'd never do such a thing. Kind of just flirting, back and forth, bit of banter, right? My friend then came and joined the conversation. And the girls were like, oh, you know, should we take a picture of you? You guys look kind of fit. And they were like, oh, thank you. Do you think we should be models? You know, kind of just, again, banter, flirting. I did not think of what to say. I simply just adapted. I threw myself in the deep end and I adapted in the situation. My mate after that was like, how the fuck? What? How have you just done that? You've just gone from talking to me to instantly in a new conversation. Now we're here taking selfies with random girls. Like, it was that easy, bro. It genuinely is. You have no idea. You're going to kick yourself when you realize how easy it is to be social, confident, attractive to women, how to have game and riz and all the rest of it. It's simply just don't think. That is the secret. That is the cure. Okay? So, go through your world. Practice just speaking more. Practice just speaking your mind. Whether it's, I don't know, maybe you are walking down the street and you trip over. Fuck. Like, just speak more words. Anything, bro. You're on the tram and you make eye contact with someone. Hey, mate, you all right? How you doing? Yeah, not bad, thanks. You'll realise very, very quickly that it's not as scary as you think it is if you just commit to the conversation. A lot of you guys are trying to run away from the conversation in the back of your brain. Although you may be speaking to them, your mind is elsewhere. Your mind's like, get out, get out, get out. This is too anxiety-inducing. I don't know what to do. I'm not used to this. Go away, go away. If you can shut those thoughts up and commit yourself to it, you will perform a lot better. On the tram. How's your day going, mate? I do this all the time with everyone that I meet. I was in Co-op yesterday. It's kind of like a convenience store in my city of Manchester. If you're in the UK, you might know what the Co-op is. I don't know if you guys have it anywhere else, but I was in the Co-op and I was getting some baby milk for my baby sister and some tea bags for my family. I don't even drink tea, but I was shopping for them. And I put the things on the counter. I said, hi, mate, you all right? To the guy behind the counter. Again, I'm used to this now. This is normal to me. And this feels very weird for me to say because I never used to be this guy. I used to be so shy. I never used to go into shops because I was so shy. I never used to go outside because I used to sit inside and play fucking video games all day. I was a fucking nerd, bruv. So I went into the shop. I said to the guy, how, mate? How's your day going? No, yeah, okay, it's not too bad, thanks. Then we kind of just, you know, he was sorting out the till or whatever, so we didn't really say anything. And then I kind of just mentioned the weather or some bullshit. Like, oh, it's been really nice recently. I've been making the most of it. I don't know if you can tell. And he's like, oh, yeah, you got a nice tan coming along there. Whatever, just random bullshit. I'm chatting shit. This means nothing. It's the first thing that came to my brain because obviously it's a nice sunny day. So I mentioned the weather. Small talk, right? That's what it is. You're just chatting shit. Nice conversation, blah, blah, blah. Ended up making his day. He was smiling by the end of it. Like, yeah, have a nice evening, mate. Yeah, have a good day. Take care. Like, bro, he was miserable before I came into conversation with him. Like this. Standing at the till like this, like he was defeated by life. I came over and he was smiling by the end of it. That's your job. Chat shit. Don't take life too seriously. Just enjoy it. Be present. Practice speaking. first thing that comes to your brain, just fucking say it. If you mess up, if you stutter, understand it is part of the process. Anybody that you see that is good at anything in life was not just naturally born good at it, unless they have some sort of genetic gift, which most people don't. Most people, like riding a bike, you're not just born and you instantly know how to ride a bike. You have to learn, you have to fall off, you have to make mistakes. It's the same with absolutely everything. Go through the process. The reason you are not where you want to be is because you're too scared to go through the process. You're just sitting in your comfort zone. You have to go out there and stutter. You have to go out there and be awkward. You have to go out there and embarrass yourself. It's a part of learning. Is that understood? Hopefully you can take something from these 2 daily reminders. I know I said I'd keep it quick and short and concise. My brain just has too much knowledge. I have to give you all this power that's flowing through my veins. It's just got too much knowledge. I can't keep this shit quick and concise and short. I just can't. Because if I was, I'd say something like, okay, practice deep breathing. Like, breathe from your belly. Make sure you're bloating your belly out and you're not tensed. Okay, practice speaking more. Practice chatting shit. Practice just being present. Like, it's very just, for me personally, I don't know. I like to give you guys a reason why to do this kind of stuff. I like to give you examples of who I used to be and how I've come to the place I am today. Give you a bit of inspiration. I like to give you guys a video packed full of value, inspiration, knowledge, okay? A reason why behind what it is that you're doing. I like to give you guys so there's no questions left. There's no, oh, but why am I doing it? Or how did Luke get to that point? I like to try and answer as many questions as I can in these videos. If you do have any other questions, or if there's any area where you are confused in life, or there's some problems you're going through that you can't talk about to anybody else. I understand some things in life are very embarrassing to speak about. Your porn addiction, not being able to talk to girls. A lot of you guys have egos, which is normal, it's a good thing. But you have to lower the ego and talk about these things in order to overcome them. This is why I'm here. The coaching is down below in the description if you'd like to come and talk to me on a personal level and learn the secrets for unlimited power to master your life. Don't wait any longer. You know, you're taking the excitement out of your life by waking up every day and thinking, oh, but I've got this problem and I'm shit at this and I'm shit at that. Just come and learn. I've been there and done it. It's taken me years. You can learn it in 1 hour. Down below in the description. See you soon.